Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone. June 17th, and welcome to the pre-market session. How is everyone? Good morning, Sarah. How are you guys? So we are going to have a pretty interesting day today. We are going to have a bunch of economic events for the day. Everything is scheduled, so let's take a look at the economic calendar for the day. And on Wednesday, as you can see, we had retail sales, and at 2 p.m. we are going to have FOMC announcement and Fed chair press conference, which is going to be the theme of the whole day. Probably the whole market is waiting for the actual announcement and the actual clear direction for the whole market. Now, once we go over the price action, you will see how the price is forming, technically waiting for the FOMC announcement, and we'll go over them one by one. Overall, the futures are basically mixed, are inside yesterday's range so far, and we had retail sales beating expectations. May retail sales rose 0.9% versus expected 0.5%, which is showing the consumer is still strong. And ex-auto sales also was strong. And the market basically will focus on Kevin Warsh's tone for the day, because there won't be any rate move, probably. That's the expectation. But Kevin Warsh's first press conference will be pretty much interesting, because everyone is waiting to see what is his thought process on rate cuts, and how aggressive he will be on the possible inflation analysis and rate cuts. So that would be the main theme of the market, which is going to be very important, which probably will cause a lot of volatility. And I'm going to talk about it as the market opens and we start trading all together. So what else? Semis are trying to bounce. Chip makers pulled back yesterday after a strong run, which we'll be talking about some of these ticker symbols as well. Oil and geopolitical headlines are still there. Not that important, but still there. Oil is slightly higher after Trump's check out WTI. Slightly higher. Basically, it's mainly pulling back, but after Trump commented on Iran, basically any headline moves the oil price. But overall, oil is way below this critical $80 point, and it's just consolidating right around this 75 for now. Intel started production of its advanced 18AP chip, helping basically some sentiment moves probably on Intel. Some slight gap up in the pre-market for now so far on Intel. JBL beat earning per share and revenue and guided Q4 above expectations. So we are seeing a gap up here in the pre-market so far on JBL at all-time highs, and possibly could be interesting name to watch if you are interested in trading earning plays. And Netflix denied interest in acquiring Lionsgate. Not sure how Netflix reacted to that. Yeah, pretty much nothing. It's just like weak. So yeah, the game plan and the theme for the day would be possibly watching and waiting and paying attention to the critical points that we will talk about in a minute. Okay, so what are those critical points? Let's start with S&P 500 and see how the market is moving right now. So SPY is holding right above 750 if you see. So what is this level? This 750 zone, which we talked about in the last 2-3 days after this gap up, is the same area that we rejected and reversed hard back in May 15. Pushed back down, held around this 735, pushed back up, rejected the zone, and then the buyer stepped in, the price gapped up, held around those levels, and the buyers held the zone, bounced back up, bounced back up, bounced back up, and then pushed back up all the way higher. And in this recent sell-off that we had on last 2 weeks Friday, we had a hold right around this 750 zone, finally sold off, pushed back down, retested, hit this almost this zone, pushed back down, hit this zone, got rejected, and went all the way down. So this is the same critical zone that we're also seeing SPY held a few days ago on Monday in the pre-market. Now, if you zoom out, you will see on 4-hour chart, it is actually the 50 SMA zone and 9 and 21 EMA area as well. If you zoom out, you will see on daily chart, right around this 750-ish area is almost a 9 EMA, 745, 750 is almost a 9 EMA, and especially at this 745, we see the moving averages and the Friday highs. These zones are going to be pretty important for the day, especially now that the market is relatively weak in the pre-market so far. Why does it matter? Now, if you see the market after this gap up on Monday went all the way higher, hit 756, very close to the all-time high, got rejected, held 754, 755 zone, pushed higher, got rejected, and made a lower high. It went all the way down, retested the same level that it broke and pushed higher. In the pre-market, in the after hour, hit this 752-ish area, got rejected, and now it's stuck in this range, in between this 749, 750 demand zone and 752 resistance so far. Now, if we stay in this range, this is going to be a pretty choppy sideways, full of fake out price action probably for the market. So you probably don't want to go aggressive in this range. In my opinion, you probably shouldn't go aggressive in this whole range, all the way from 749 till 754, because this is again the same range that we were kind of struggling to break. Finally broke yesterday in the around 3 p.m. But then the market might push higher a little bit, hit this range, and just stay choppy for a while and just hang out in this range in between 749 and 754. If that happens, that would be pretty much typical to a normal pre-FOMC price action. Just keep that in mind. When I'm saying the market might stay in this range, it doesn't mean that the market will just print flat 751 every single minute of the market open. of the whole market, of the whole day till 2 p.m. The market may move. You might see some moves, some like strong pushes higher if you zoom into 1 minute chart, 2 minute chart, 5 minute chart. But if you zoom out, you will see that the market might hang out in this range if that happens. So don't try to zoom in too much to just find some quick moves in the middle of this chop. Try to zoom out and understand the zones that you want to see a reaction and wait for the confirmation to those reactions finally to execute. Okay. Now, on the other hand, if we break out of this especially 754, hold there and get to 756 area, either pre-FOMC announcement or after 2 p.m., this can be a pretty strong bullish momentum for the market for a possible continuation. On the other hand, if we reject these, if we hit these zones and reject, or hit these zones and reject, that might give us some reversal setups. If the market sells off and cannot hold 740, 750, 748 area, this zone, there is a high chance of seeing market retesting 745, which is almost Friday's high, and it's right around moving averages on the daily chart as well. So this is going to be, this 745 is going to be a very important level after we break below this, especially 748, because there is a gap in between, a $3 gap. But if we touch 745 and break through it, things can get a little bit messy, right? We can go down after that, right? So we can really go down and sell off if the bid cannot hold this 744, 745. This thing can go down, drop down till 735, 736, or even lower, because it will break a very critical demand zone that is supporting this bullish move. If that fails, we're going to see some sort of sell-off. So it's important to pay attention to these levels, and with FOMC, anything is possible. So we will have to have all of these scenarios ready and be prepared for it. If it happens, take action. Cues. Let's start cues with the daily chart right now. So what is happening on the daily chart on cues? We are seeing this gap up, right? After the end of war and signing the agreement, we had a gap up, almost hit all-time high. Yesterday rejected, pushed back down till 729, and this is where we are right now. Qs is a little bit obviously cleaner, and as you can see, there is a clean gap from 730 down till this 724, and this 724 is exactly the 9 EMA on the daily chart, a very critical point, and it's exactly the previous high back in May, and it's basically Friday's high as well. So it's a very, very strong demand zone on Qs, and in case of breaking this 730, the next massive demand area would be right 723, 724. If that holds, we might bounce. If it doesn't, again, things can get messy and we can go down. Qs can just drop heavily and go back down till 712. That's the possibility of a sell-off and drop on the overall market. On the other hand, 738 would be the main resistance zone here, that it got rejected, as you can see, right? We rejected it yesterday after the break. We retested, rejected, went back down. In the pre-market, we retested, rejected, and we're almost in between this range. Again, on Qs, this zone, 730 till 738, is going to be the prison. You don't want to trade in this range, probably. It's better to just wait for the high probability setup, it's better to just wait for the market to chop in this range and you don't be in it. Wait for the market to get out of this range and give you some sort of confirmation if your focus is going to be on SPY and Qs and trading these, basically the ETFs. If we break out of 738, obviously we can just see and have another probably good strong move like we had one on Monday, right? Possible retest of 741 and then 745, and that would be the all-time high. So we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at SMH as well. SMH, semiconductor ETF, we actually retested pretty hard yesterday, right around this 614, and we're bouncing above that level. So very similar to the overall market. This 615 would be the key demand zone. If that fails, we're gonna go down. The 635 and then 645 would be the next main zones. Basically, it's till 650 because we rejected this zone, right? Yes, this was the all-time high, but we couldn't really hold around these areas and it failed really bad. So this zone would be the main resistance on SMH. But if it stays in this range of 625 till 635, or maybe even 615 till 635, it possibly may end up being a little bit choppy. Some individual tickers. Apple, as you guys saw, we held this zone pretty well and we slowly pushed back up higher, and we retested the moving averages right around $300 range. We are holding right below this major resistance of 323. In case of strength in market, and remember, on a day like this, the macro event, the FOMC, will heavily affect the individual tickers. So as I said, that might be the theme of the market. So be careful and be patient and try to basically look for the overall market's reaction and then focus on the individual tickers as well. Anyway, 303 would be the key resistance zone. If you break it, we're gonna go probably have a very strong bullish rally on Apple. If we get below 298, we can retest and push back down to the demand layers of 295 and then 292 and then back down to this 290-ish area. Tesla. Tesla is rejecting, right? Tesla is rejecting. Check out the daily chart. Tesla is still rejecting 410, 416, and pretty choppy price action overall. But if we break below this 400, we can retest 396 and then go down to 387 and 382. Definitely a bearish setup compared to the whole market. If the market actually drops, and if let's say Qs drop below this 722, 723, I think Tesla has some room to go down and sell off. But if the market holds, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tesla stay choppy. And VDA still holding right below this 210, 212. If you remember, this is the zone that I've been talking about for the last couple of days, and we are still rejecting there. So the main resistance, 212. Now we are holding right around this 207 as well. If we break below 207, we can go down till 204 and then all the way lower down till 200, 199. So definitely in case of 207 break, NVIDIA could be interesting name to watch as well. Google's still trying. Let's see if it can get out of this 376 or not. AMD after yesterday's drop held right above this 506. Look at 506, the same level it bounced, rejected. Now it bounced here. Yesterday we bounced above this level as well. Now the key zones would be 530 and this 505, right? The 505 is obviously very clear point, yesterday's low and the critical demand on the, it's very obvious on daily chart as well. If we break that, we can go down all the way till like 485.6. If we hold here on AMD and the market pushes above this 530, we can go for another retest of 556, 557, and we'll see how it reacts to the all-time high resistance. Right, not the best hold here. So yeah, we'll see if it can try another time or not. Intel had a catalyst, and I went over the catalyst. They announced a chip, and it didn't really move that much in the pre-market. Not a massive reaction, but overall it's holding right around this 122, 123. So above this 123 might be a good opportunity for a long till 128, but we had a lot of rejections around these zones, so you want to be careful around that. Not a fan of Intel's price action overall in the last couple of days, but we'll see. If it gets out of these ranges, probably we might see some strong move, but it rejected these zones of 128, 130 really hard. Historically, it rejected it really bad, and then in the last 2 days it also rejected it. But the key demand zone would be 115. We break it, we can go down heavily. Meta is still holding right below this 602 level. Yesterday I traded it long, had a quick scalp there, but it rejected. Now if we break down, especially if we get below yesterday's low of this 591, and ideally maybe below this 580-ish zone, right? 87.8. If we get below that, there might be a chance of seeing a massive drop on Meta, because we clearly rejected the moving averages and 600 level in the last 2 days. If we get below this zone, there is a high chance of continuation and sell-off on Meta. MU is in a range very similar to AMD's price action at 1020, and this 1000 maybe 70 would be on watch, 77 on watch. On MU, Microsoft, yeah, pretty much nothing there. Amazon is also, Amazon could be interesting in case of a drop below 244, and if the market is weak, we can have another sell-off down till 242 and 238 on Amazon. And finally, Marvel is still holding pretty well right above this 278. So that could be a good sign of a hold here on Marvel. If it holds this 280 zone, we will keep consolidating probably here until we break. Still holding strong so far. As long as it holds this 278, 279 zone, we're still looking good. If it breaks, then won't be really that interesting of a name to watch. But if it holds, push back up higher above 312, obviously 320 would be interesting for a trade to all-time high. Okay, awesome. So with that being said, I will be trading live with the team as always. If you want to join us, make sure you check out the link in the description, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one.